the first time I come to this waterfall. I've heard about it before, and I've seen pictures of it, and wanted to come and do a dive. So finally we're here. I mean, it's not like the highest dive, but these dives at this kind of locations are very tricky. You know, you have to make sure that the water is nice and deep. The pool is not that big at all, so you know, you have to make sure that all the safety elements are there. Yesterday when we arrived, conditions were not ideal. You know, it was a lot of rain, waterfall was really big, so you know, it's kind of dangerous to dive like that. Today, luckily, weather is just much better, you know, blue skies and temperature's just right.
Jaz sem zvedel za ta slap že prej, ker smo kot otrok so me tudi pripeljali sem, ker je to en najlepših slapov, baje delač okrog, sploh v Sloveniji. Potem pa, ko sem se začel ukvarjati s skoki v vodo, sem vedno razmišljal, da bi prišel skočiti iz vrha tega slapu.
For climbing, it's going to be a little bit tricky. You know, the climbers are setting up a whole system for us to get up on top. But, you know, overall, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is the kind of places that get my blood pumping. You know, I've been coming to Slovenia a few years. We used to do some competitions here. And together with Jerne, you know, we always spoke about what places to go to visit, and this was one of them.
Udrivna točka je majhen kritična, zato ker je drsi. Drugač pa pogled iz vrha je strahovit, zato ker je od spodaj majhen tolmun. Lahko se kaj zalomi, samo ni nobene nevarnosti glede narave, da bi se kaj zalomil.
This is the kind of places that we search for around the world. You know, a place where we can combine all these elements and still do a dive. Competition, we're just looking who's the best diver. The judges are deciding that. It's a completely different thing. This is actually like what gets you a little more excited about the sport. This is the kind of places that, you know, when you arrive and you see it, you go like, I want to jump from there. But from down below, you look up and you're like really excited until you get to the top and you go like, oh my God, what am I going to do, you know? The takeoff is really sketchy, you know, you're really off balance, 1 foot behind the other. It's not your normal takeoff position. So there's a lot of elements that, you know, when you put them all together, it makes the dive that much interesting. You know, you have this rock over here and then there's the edge of the pool, so you have to aim for the right spot, but, you know, it works out okay. It's borderline, you know, like safety, but it's good fun, you know, it's what gets you like blood pumping. Once you know all those elements, all those situations that you have to take care of and you have it figured out, it's all fun, you know, but it's just that first dive, the first moment where you go like, okay, let's try to see how this goes. That's really exciting. Like that's the kind of thing that I like to feel before a dive, you know, like that it makes you think, it makes you just stop for a second and run through the whole process again.
Danes je skočil 2 salti z pol vijaka. To je v bistvu v njihovem krogu, Orlandovem, naprimer, en izmed lažjih skokov. Za mene je pa to tudi en siguren skok, za katerega vem, da lahko v bistvu ga skočim z različnih višin.
Jaz skačem tudi druge skoke, samo ko sem skakal v svetovnem pokalu, je bilo pač 24 metrov visok in zdaj nisem v drugega skoka, prvi skok, samo vhod na noge. Tako da sem drugo serijo skoka skakal pač povratni skok na glavo.
We like that feeling in the air, you know, like regardless where it is, we like that feeling. I mean, of course, some locations are spectacular like this. In some other places, it might be just a bridge. But once you're in the air, it's just such a nice feeling, you know? So every time we're gonna find a high place with deep water, we're gonna start jumping. And if it looks like as good as this, I mean, it doesn't get any better.